All right, so have you ever been scrolling through, YouTube or Google? You're looking for maybe like a new movie trailer, and you find something that just looks kind of, I don't know, a little weird.
Yeah.
Like it's almost real, but it's not quite there.
Yeah.
Like something is just off. Well, you might have just like stumbled into the world of fake AI movie trailers,
Hmm.
and that's what we're diving into today.
Well, cool.
Our mission in this deep dive is to unpack this whole surprising trend, figure out why this is even happening right now, what this even means for Hollywood, the people that actually make movies.
Right.
We looked at a bunch of different sources, news articles, all sorts of stuff to try to paint a full picture for you.
It's a really dynamic situation, I think, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Because it really started as just sort of a thing that people did online for fun.
Mm.
But now it's become something a lot more intricate. It sort of touches on how content is made now and who owns it and even how the studios are reacting to it.
Yeah, totally. And to give you just a concrete example right off the bat, last year, French national television actually got fooled by one of these fake AI trailers. It was for the new Superman movie.
Wow.
And they showed clips of David Cornsweet, who's going to be playing Superman, in the costume.
Yeah.
Way before anything official was released.
Yeah.
And James Gunn, the director, his response.
Yeah.
3 puke emojis.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
pretty clear how he felt.
That's clear.
But here's where it gets really interesting for you. These massive Hollywood studios, the ones whose intellectual property is getting used, right?
Right?
Without their permission, it seems, are actually often quietly making money from these same fake trailers.
Wow.
Isn't that a head scratcher?
That is a head scratcher. Well, how did this even start? I mean, fake trailers, this isn't brand new, is it?
No, not brand new at all. It's been around on YouTube especially since way back in 2005.
Oh, wow.
And one of the early ones that really went viral was this hilarious imagined sequel to Titanic
Oh, my God.
called Titanic 2. Jack's back. Can you picture it?
Let me guess. They find him in the, frozen in the water.
Frozen in the ice.
Oh, frozen in the ice.
Okay,
Sure.
still alive. They bring him back to modern-day New York.
Okay.
And of course, it's all set to this ridiculously upbeat remix of Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On.
Oh, my
It
goodness.
was just pure internet comedy gold.
Yeah.
This is like the early days of YouTube. It was just hilarious.
And you mentioned something earlier that I think is really important about this early spirit, because it was often comedic, but now what we're seeing is very different.
Right.
So that original Titanic trailer, right, the joke one, this was updated in 2018 by this Australian YouTuber named VJ4R2.
Oh.
And a lot of people consider him sort of like the godfather of these, what they call concept trailers. And this really highlights that early focus on just taking familiar stories and twisting them in funny ways. And he was just doing this for fun. And he's gotten hundreds of millions of views on his videos since then. But a lot of his early work was just about the central joke. Can you imagine if Jack actually survived and what would happen if he reappeared today?
Yeah, totally.
Hmm.
But the game is completely changed with really good AI, sophisticated AI. It's like the fake trailer world has gone into hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive, okay.
So instead of painstakingly trying to edit existing footage, cutting and pasting and all that, now creators can just use AI to generate entirely new scenes, entirely new visuals. So it's way faster, it's way more scalable, and the ideas that they're playing with are, pretty simple, but so appealing to fans. Imagine a live-action Frozen
Oh, yeah.
with Anya Taylor-Joy as Elsa.
Oh, that's a good casting choice.
Right. Or what if Leonardo DiCaprio just suddenly popped up in Squid Game?
Oh, my God.
Could Henry Cavill pull off being James Bond? These are questions that people want to know.
Yeah.
And some of these trailers, they actually create real online buzz and even get picked up by legitimate, entertainment news sites.
Wow. And the viewers, I imagine they react in all sorts of different ways to this.
Totally.
Some people are genuinely fooled, especially if they're not super familiar with AI, They don't know how to spot the little weird things. And then you have people who are critical or annoyed, but they're still clicking out of curiosity.
Right.
So the hate watchers. And then you have a whole group of people who just actively look for these because they love the possibilities, the fan-driven creativity, even if they know it's not official.
Exactly. And that brings us to the business side of all this.
Okay.
So there's this YouTube channel called Screen Culture, run by this guy named Nikhil P. Chodhari in Pune, India.
Okay.
For him, this isn't just a hobby. It's like a full-on professional operation taking advantage of, all this AI stuff.
I see. So how does screen culture fit into this larger picture? It's not just random funny trailers anymore. It's something else.
They represent like a real turning point in the whole evolution of these fake trailers. Because unlike those earlier ones, more outlandish or comedic, Chodari and his team, they focus on movies and franchises that are either coming up, big releases, or really well-established franchises that people love. Their whole goal is to make trailers that really resemble official releases. Like you watch it, you think it's real.
Wow.
And they're using AI to just like generate, enticing glimpses, little details that people are like dying to see.
Oh, so it's almost like they're trying to predict what's going to be in the movie?
Totally, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they're good at it.
And they're good at it.
They're really good at it.
Okay.
They're putting out, like, get this, around a dozen videos every week.
What?
All carefully put together by this whole team of editors who work under Chodari.
Oh, wow. So this is a whole operation.
It's an operation. And their impact is significant. Like, for example, their fake trailers for the new Fantastic Four movie
Okay.
actually ranked higher in YouTube search results than the actual official trailer that Marvel released.
Oh, that's pretty embarrassing for Marvel.
Talk about embarrassing.
Yeah.
And they even featured AI-generated elements like Galactus and a female Silver Surfer.
Oh, wow.
These are characters who the official look hadn't even been revealed yet.
So they're not only like making these trailers, they're also like making concept art almost.
Yeah, all those.
And it's fooling people. That's amazing.
It really highlights, like, one of their big tactics is to be the first one to talk about something.
I see.
By creating and posting trailers for a movie that everybody's excited about, really quickly, they take advantage of YouTube's algorithm.
Ah, so the algorithm likes new stuff.
New stuff, so they get boosted at the search results.
Gotcha.
And this, combined with the fact that people want to know what's going to happen in a movie, drives tons of views and recommendations.
It's smart. It's really smart.
It's very smart.
Yeah.
And it's not just about being fast. Johari's like very open about using all these AI tools.
Okay.
So he uses Leonardo and Midjourney for creating the visuals in the trailers, and then he uses 11 Labs for generating the voiceover. So it sounds like a real person.
Wow. So he's not even trying to hide the fact that he's using AI.
Not at all.
He's embracing it.
Fully embracing it.
Yeah.
And the results, I mean, they speak for themselves.
I bet.
So since they've really leaned into AI, Screen Culture's views and subscribers have more than doubled.
Oh, wow.
So they're 1.4 billion views,
Yeah.
1.4 million subscribers.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. And that translates to, like, serious ad revenue, like millions of dollars, although they don't say exactly how much. And Chodari, I mean, he leans into that influencer persona, with the fancy cars and the travel posts and all that.
So he's living the dream.
Yeah. He's like, look at me. I made it.
Wow. It's kind of a compelling story in a way, right? Like AI has made it so much easier to create this stuff. And if you're smart and you understand what's trending online and you really know what audiences want, you can build a whole business.
Yeah.
But I imagine this also leads to some pretty big problems, like ethical issues, legal problems.
Huge problems. And here's where it gets really surprising and kind of frustrating, to be honest. Instead of immediately sending in the lawyers and issuing takedown notices, copyright infringement, all that stuff.
Right.
Some of the biggest Hollywood studios, like Warner Bros., Discovery, Sony Pictures, Paramount, they're actually claiming the ad revenue generated by these videos.
Oh, are you serious?
So we saw evidence of Warner Bros., Discovery claiming monetization on Screen Culture's trailers for Superman and House of the Dragon.
Oh, wow.
Sony doing the same thing for Spider-Man and Kraven the Hunter, and Paramount for, get this, Gladiator 2.
That's crazy. I mean, so why aren't they doing anything about this? It doesn't make any sense.
That's the big question, right? The studios themselves are not commenting, so we're left to, like, guess. Are they just overwhelmed? There's so many fake trailers out there.
Yeah, maybe.
Is it just too expensive to sue everybody?
Possibly.
Or do they think that this extra exposure, even though it's not official, is actually going to help them in the long run? Maybe it gets, younger audiences more excited about these films.
Yeah, maybe it's a way of building hype without having to spend any money.
Yeah.
But this seems to contradict what a lot of people are saying, right?
Absolutely.
Like, isn't SAG-AFTRA the actors union? They're pretty upset about all this, right?
They're furious about it. They've come out and said it's a race to the bottom. They're arguing that these trailers are using their members' likenesses without permission.
Right.
Which is a valid point.
Yeah.
And that it undermines the work of human creators. People who actually, like, do this stuff for a living.
Right, because it's like saying that their work isn't as valuable.
Exactly. And they've said that they expect the studios to really protect their intellectual property against this kind of AI misuse. You know, SAG-AFTRA, they're not messing around.
So the actors are saying, hey, protect us, and the studios are like, well...
And the studios are like, well, we're making money, so...
So, whatever. This whole situation, it really highlights the human cost of this, doesn't it?
Totally. And it's not just about copyright. Like, there's also this really problematic aspect to some of these channels, including screen culture, that they use sexually suggestive imagery in their thumbnails and sometimes even in the trailers.
Oh, you mean like they're making, like, sexy fake trailers?
Kinda, yeah. So there was this AI-generated thumbnail for, like, a fake Inside Out 3 sequel.
Oh, no.
Featuring, like, an older Riley Anderson, the little girl from the movie, with, like, you know, cleavage.
Oh, my God.
And a lot of people, you know, myself included, were kind of like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
And Chodari, the guy who runs the channel, his excuse was, well, you know, it's a plausible storyline, which is debatable, to say the least.
To say the least.
And the way that copyright is even enforced seems so inconsistent.
Yeah.
So Warner Bros. Discovery did strike screen culture once for a Furiosa trailer.
Okay.
But they've let tons of others go. Amazon, they politely asked for a The Boys trailer to be taken down because of trademark issues, but didn't do anything about other, you know, very similar videos.
Right.
And Disney, you know, they've got this huge library of characters
Huge.
that these channels are constantly using, right?
Yeah.
They almost never challenge screen culture. And Chodari himself estimates that monetization claims, you know, where they try to take his money, are only made on like 10% of his videos.
10%, that's nothing.
It's a nothing.
So what does this tell us about the studios? I mean, they're not doing a very good job, it seems.
It's not a unified front.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you know, you've got these CEOs like Bob Iger, Disney, right?
Yeah.
Always talking about respecting creative rights and protecting their intellectual property.
Right.
But behind the scenes, they seem totally fine with benefiting financially from these fake trailers.
That is so hypocritical.
It is. And the Motion Picture Association, the big lobbying group for the studios, refused to even comment.
So they don't even want to talk about it.
Nope. So we got to ask, what's the harm here? Is there any harm? Chodari, the guy who makes the trailers, says that his videos actually help promote the movies.
Oh, okay.
And that most viewers understand that they're not official. But is that really true?
I mean, there's got to be a downside, right?
There's a potential for some big downsides.
Yeah.
So first off, these fake trailers, they might make the official marketing campaigns from the studio less effective. Why are you going to watch the official trailer when you've already seen this cool fake one that maybe showed you more?
Right, yeah.
They could also really confuse viewers. Like, imagine parents thinking that this, you know, suggestive Inside Out 3 trailer is real.
Oh, my God.
They're taking their kids to see this movie.
Yeah.
And it's not at all what they expected.
No, not at all.
And then, you know, like the actors unions are saying, there's this big question of exploiting talent and devaluing the work of human creators.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you're basically saying that these AI-generated things are just as good as the real thing.
Right. Which is, you know, obviously not true.
And then think about the actual movies themselves. Could these fake trailers, which are often very, you know, speculative, they might even be negative sometimes.
Yeah.
Could they influence how people see the movie, how the critics talk about the movie, and even affect how much money it makes?
Yeah.
Like, maybe people go in expecting one thing and are disappointed.
Yeah.
I think the new Superman movie is going to be a really interesting test case for that, you know? Like, how much did these fake trailers influence what people thought of that movie?
Yeah.
And we also have to think about the human creators, the people who do this for a living, who feel like their work is being copied, like their styles are being imitated by AI without any credit, without any acknowledgement.
It's stealing, basically.
It is, yeah. And there was this whole backlash against this one YouTube channel that was like secretly using AI-generated content.
Oh, really?
People were not happy.
Yeah.
So there's this growing need for more awareness about where this content is coming from.
Yeah.
And, you know, ultimately protection for the people who are actually creating it.
Right. It makes sense. I mean, the studios might make a little money in the short term, but if they damage their brand, their relationship with the creators, and, you know, if their official marketing just becomes less valuable because of this, it's not going to be good in the long run.
Yeah, it's like they're playing with fire a little bit.
They are. It's a really, really tricky situation.
So let's just like recap what we talked about, for those of you who are just tuning in.
Yeah.
We've seen this crazy surge in these fake AI movie trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are so good that even national news outlets are getting fooled. We've looked at the business side, where some big studios are actually making money from these videos, even though it seems like they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And we've gone through these really complicated ethical and legal issues.
Yeah, and the fact that nobody can agree on what the right thing to do is.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
But if we connect all this to the bigger picture for you, I think what we're really seeing is like a fundamental shift in how content is made, how it's shared, and how people are making money from it.
Mm.
The lines between what's official and what's unofficial, what's made by a human and what's made by a computer, are getting blurrier and blurrier.
It's like this weird gray area.
It is a gray area. And it's presenting a lot of opportunities, but also a lot of challenges for the entertainment industry and for creators in general.
Totally.
So here's something I want you to think about.
Okay.
Given this whole crazy situation, studios making money off these fake trailers, the debate about copyright, the debate about creators' rights, what do you think the future of movie marketing looks like?
Yeah.
What do you think the future of intellectual property looks like in general in this age of, increasingly good AI?
Yeah, because AI is only going to get better.
It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So, should studios be profiting from these AI creations? Or should they be, like, taking a hard line and really fighting them?
Yeah.
And what about platforms like YouTube?
Yeah, where all this stuff is being hosted, what's their responsibility?
Exactly. What's their responsibility?
This really makes you think about, what is creative work in the first place? What do we consider valuable?
Yeah.
What do we consider, something that deserves to be protected?
Human ingenuity, what does that even mean anymore?
Yeah.
And these are not just questions for the movie industry.
No.
These are questions for all kinds of creative industries.
Music, art, writing, all of it.
All of it, yeah. So we encourage you, go out there and look for some of these fake AI trailers yourself. You might be surprised at how good they are.
Or how bad they are.
Or how bad they are. It's a fascinating glimpse into how the digital world is changing.
It really is.
So that was our deep dive for you today. We went beneath the surface of what seemed like a pretty simple online trend, and wow, it's a lot more complicated than we thought. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like to show your support. Got thoughts, questions, or ideas? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe and hit the to stay updated on my latest content. See you in the next video.